A man is dead and 2 others injured, including a child, after a shooting near the Trinity Gardens Mardi Gras parade today.
What about this damn young man that just got shot out here? You don't give a damn about the young men that's out here dying in the streets, man. The problem in our community is weak and feminized black men that's led by pussy.
Residents in the area say they heard gunshots around 10 or 11 Saturday night, but didn't think much of it.
Shots were fired and at least 1 person injured. In Jackson,
police say there were shots fired into a house in the 3000 block of
the area say they heard gunshots around 10.
What they fight for? Tell me what they fight for. All money and drugs, that's what it was. That's what you dying for. Cook it up in the kitchen like sentence. That's what you striving for. You trap, you trap, you trap, you trap, you trap, you trap. Come trap your bigs, get your licks. Cause this White House built with bricks to sell your soul. You get that gold, you get that dope, you get them kicks. They tell you whatever to keep you in sin.
Yes. Yes. Yes, welcome back to the podcast. Beloved, this is indeed your brother Big VJ checking in. Today's conversation, we're going to talk about leadership, right? We're going to have a conversation about leadership. We're going to talk about the village. And, you know, we may make a little comparison, right, between the current leadership ideology and the ideology which is to come about the future leadership that we see here is coming. You know what I mean? So we're going to have like a conversation about that. And, you know, all of our conversations here is brought to us by the listener because it's the comments that's the engine and the fuel of the machine. So shout out to everybody that share the conversations, like, and especially those that comment, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, whether it's Twitter, whether it's YouTube, etc., whatever it is, we appreciate it, right? Today's conversation is brought to us by our brother Fat Alberto that sent us a video, and then he sent us a message with the video, right? In that video that he sent us, a tragedy took place. A young brother lost his life during the Mardi Gras celebration, which took place in the great state of Alabama, right? All right. You know, anything that happens in Alabama, or as a local say Alabama, that's near and dear to my heart because that's my second home, right? For my family, that is the old country. And a young brother lost his life in Mobile, right? During the Mardi Gras celebration. So we want to say this first, right? We want to send our condolences to the family. The young brother that lost his life, not only in Mobile, but all over the hills of North America and the territory that we call the United States, because this happens over and over and over in all the inner cities, all the communities, because there's a high level of poison amongst our people, right? And then, you know, it's a kind of energy floating around this Mardi Gras parade. It's kind of like celebration deal anyway, right? Yo, check this out. Man, I got a little cuz that did a good build on this, right? If you go to his podcast, Unpopular Truth versus Popular Opinion, he just did a build about the demonic forces that's operating in this thing called Mardi Gras. It's a lot of energy that's going on there, and it's not the energy that our people need to be around, right? Even if you look at the history, right? I just say this much. If you look at the history of Mardi Gras, we know that that's something that the Frenchies do. That's kind of like some French things, some French stuff going on, and it goes back. It's connected with some mythology kind of deal. Because see, listen, Mobile, Alabama is the home of the Mardi Gras, right? I know New Orleans get all the publicity, but it's Mobile. Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday, right? It's a celebration of Mars before Lent. So Lent is like something that the Europeans do. It's like 40 days of fasting, and then, you know, 6 Sundays, but we don't see them do it. But this is just something that we hear that they do. But just going back to Mardi Gras. Mars in Roman mythology is the son of Jupiter and Juno, right? We kind of already know that by looking at mythology and there, all that what they got going on in cave land over there. But if you look at the figure Mars, it makes him the god of war, right? And then we say on this podcast, we like, yo, the devil is so cold with it that when an original man or woman come out of their homes, he named all the streets after Europeans. You know what I mean? He named all the months and all the days of the week. He kind of named everything after like some Greek god or goddesses or some Roman kind of like stuff he got going on. From the street level all the way up to the heavens. Now you look up in the sky, he's naming all Jupiter and Pluto, and he's naming these after like some deities from Europe. So when you look at the days of the week, he's doing the same thing. Tuesday is Dies Martis. That just means Mars, the god of war. Then Wednesday is Mercury, like we know, and then Thursday is Thursday, and then he kind of like going on the line with this whole. So we often remind our people that, beloved, we are living in captivity. He's naming everything around you, and then he's also controlling everything around you. This control we call devil supremacy. Some say white supremacy. Now, what is that exactly? Because if you don't know what it is, just talking about it confuse you, right? We had the blessing, and we was fortunate as a village to have a queen mother come amongst us. Her name was Dr. Cress Welsing, and she taught us about what white supremacy really is. This is something that she learned from her teacher, Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. People groups, or I should say, there's 10 areas of people activity in a modern society. That is economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, war, medicine, right? All right. When you hear someone use the term white supremacy, what they are saying essentially is that the so-called white man or the devil, he's putting himself at the top of all 10 areas of people activity. No matter what you do, you're going to have to run into him. So if you're being involved in his economics, he's in charge and control of that. Education, he's in charge and control of that. Entertainment, he's in charge and control of that. Labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, medicine, he's in charge, he can control all of this kind of stuff. Meaning that if he is the ruler and you are not, you are underneath him. Beloved, you're in captivity. Where everywhere you go in this maze, the devil is running the show. So we must have an ideology that can help us fight this supremacy. So we had a man that come amongst us, and he taught our people that the black man is God and the white man is the devil. And that is key, that is powerful, that is necessary, right? That man is named Mr. Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad, peace be upon him, he's no longer here. And his student is the most powerful black man in America, and his name is Louis Eugene Farrakhan, right? As we call him, the brother minister from Chicago. All right. We got sent a video by our brother Alberto. And again, going back to that video, it's an organization that's on it named IUIC, Israel United in Christ, right? The brother that's in that leadership position, his name is Bishop Nathanyel. Now, we ain't no big old cheerleaders for Hebrews and that Jewish stuff over here. We're just not. We ain't big supporters of all that kind of theology stuff that they kick. We just not. What we are big on here, though, is reality. When you take a good look at Bishop Nathanyel, listen to his interviews, look at his picture, see his movement, you can't help but to say that when you look at that man, beloved, and this is just an our estimate, within the next 20 years, Bishop Nathanyel whether we like it or not, is going to be the most powerful black man in the country, if not the world, beloved. That is our take on Bishop Nathanyel and the IUIC. That's it. Not that we like it or not. We're just looking at the landscape. I say it again for somebody in the back that did not hear me. They have trained Negroes not to look 10, 15, 20, 25 years down the line. But many of us with knowledge of self, we don't think like the average Negro. We just don't. We look down the line. And just as I can see it, it's clear as day. Again, I say it again. And we ain't no cheerleaders for these cats now. Ain't like but it's just reality. Bishop Nathanyel is going to be the most powerful black man, if not in the country, the whole world. We're looking at the leaders of today, and arguably the most powerful black leader in America is the brother minister from Chicago. But we're looking to the future because we know our brother is 90 years old. He's an elder. And it'd be great for him to be 100 years old. It'd be great for him to live to be 110. But if we just saying that might not be so, we have to look and see, well, who got next? If he got now, who has next, right? Beloved, we're going to submit to you that our brother Bishop Nathanyel, he got next. And it doesn't take a whole rocket scientist to figure it out. The brother got next. So much so, like, check this out. Before we got the DM from Fat Alberto, our brother, right? I want to say maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, we just sitting back. We just looking at the whole landscape of the village. We're looking at everybody in leadership position. Politicians, we're looking overseas, we're looking at the heads of states, we're looking at ministers, preachers, we just going down the line, right? And then while we just looking at the conclusion of the matter, the only person that came to our mind, beloved, was Bishop Nathanyel. So much so, right? We sent the brother a DM, I want to say like 2 months ago. It's like, listen, bro, it is very clear that we can see that you in the next 20 years is going to be the most powerful black man in the country. And we say the next 20 years because, again, the brother minister is 90. He's 90 years old. So, you know. So as the old folks say, if the Lord permit that Bishop Nathanyel live a good age, I mean, the table is set up for him to be that guy, right? So all we can say to that is this. The ideology that must be brought forth must be one that could disrupt the power, stretch, and influence of white supremacy. And when I'm looking at what the brother got going on, we talk about Bishop Nathanyel. Either he is a genius or he's lucky, or both, because it almost looks like he's setting things up for the original man to take power back over the whole globe, right? So a lot of you guys saying, VJ, come on, beloved, how did you, come on, bro, we see the guys on the corner, they're yelling, they're shouting, they're clowning. I don't see it, V. Yeah. Listen, bro, I ain't no cheerleader for none of that Jewish stuff. But when I went to the brother's website, he had something on there that is very profound. Bro, sis, this is separating him from the rest of these Hebrew Israelite camps. And the brother is going to be the most powerful brother on the planet. You know, on the whole world, 196,940,000 square miles of it. If he like 2 moves away, he's powerful now. And when I'm using the term powerful, right, I want to clarify that. I want to quantify that. That just means that he have people willing to die for him, and he have people willing to kill for him, a large number of such, right? That's what separate him from TD Jakes. That's what's going to separate him from Cleflo Dollar. That's what's going to separate him as who are these biblical preachers? What's the guy from Baltimore? The guy that's he went to Atlanta, Jamal Bryant, right? The weed guy. That's what's going to separate him from his other brother from Philadelphia, Geno Jennings. All of those guys are good speakers. They're biblical guys. They can, yeah. But if you can go around the world to build churches. The devil don't care nothing about that. When somebody's willing to die and or kill for you, that's power. We have to say, no, that's a different kind of man. Nobody's willing to pull that ratchet for Jesse and Al. But when you look at the fruit of Islam, beloved, and you look at the IUIC, those brothers ain't no pushovers now. They ready to die and kill for their leader. Is that not right? Alright, so now let's go back to what I was looking at on the website. The thing that separates Bishop Nathanyel from the rest of these Hebrew Israelite camps is the brother got something called a 12 tribes chart. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, go to IsraelUnite.org and take a look at it, right? Because when I looked at it, beloved, I looked at it, I stared at it, I meditated on it, I walked away from it, I came back to it, and I kept thinking to myself, either this brother is a genius, or he's lucky, or he's both, right? Now, I ain't gonna go down the whole theology of, oh man, this is real, this is fake, this is, no, I'm not into all that. What I am into is this. If I can see you speak, and I can see people buying into what you're speaking about, and then I'm looking at the landscape of where all this is taking place, I have no choice but to sit back and say, either this guy, listen now, either he's a genius, or he's lucky, or is he both? Is he that strategist that Mr. Muhammad always talked about? Because Elijah always taught us, he said you had to be mathematical in your thinking, right? How about we do this? How about we just go over the 12 tribes chart, and then I just say what most people gonna be thinking, and then, beloved, I say, well, this is how we look at it from over here, right? You got Judah first, which is the American blacks. Then you got Benjamin, which is West Indian blacks. Then on the chart, you got Levi, which is the Haitians. Ephraim, which is the Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, which is the Cubans. Simeon, which is Dominicans. Zebulun, which is Guatemala. Gad, which is the American Indians. Reuben, which is the Seminole Indians. Asher, which is Colombia. Issachar, which is our Mexican brothers. And then last but not least, Naphtali, which is Argentina/Chile. All right. So now let's just take a walk and let's take a look at this ideology. Let's cook on it a little bit, right? The rest of the Hebrew Israelite camps make everybody all black, right? But not Bishop Nathanyel. When you look at the side of his 12 tribes chart, it says Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It says your history is in the Bible, right? All right. Now, I just went over the names, and then he's associating people group with these names like Benjamin, the 12 tribes, right? He's associating people groups with that. Now, this is how I seen it when I read it, right? He's carving out Latin America, and you can see the people groups, and he's associating people groups with the tribe. And if you're crafty enough, we already know this. If you're kind of crafty enough with the biblical text, you can kind of almost make it say what you wanted to say. So he kind of figured something out, and he's making it say what he wanted to say. And he's going to be able to do something that I dare to say that Elijah didn't live long enough to do. And that's unite the black seed with the brown seed. Now, again, when I look at the 12 tribes chart, I'm not spooky, beloved. I'm not looking at, oh man, that ain't real, and that's no, I ain't it. You take that walk. That's the shallow end. I'm not looking at that walk. What I'm looking at when I see that is this. Again, He's identifying a lot of Latin American countries. And I'm seeing sugar, bananas, cocoa, coffee, tobacco, beef, corn, and wheat. That's all I see when he started talking about Latin American tribes, Latin American people being tribes, because he's uniting the black seed and the brown seed. That's all I see. You see the brother doing work in Africa, not just all of Africa, West Africa. I see him in Ghana. This is Bishop Nathanyel now. I see him in Ghana. I see him in Liberia. I see him in Nigeria. You're seeing West African and he kicking all this tribe stuff, and that's cool. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying when he in Ghana, Liberia, and Nigeria is when he in Ghana, all I can think about is cocoa, gold, and oil. And then he leaves Ghana, he go to Liberia, and all I can see is rubber, iron, and gold. And then he leaves there and he go to Nigeria. And then all I can really see when he get to Nigeria is wheat, corn, soybean, sugar, coffee, cotton, and livestock. You know what I'm saying? Then I look at the big boy plays, the big boy commodities then, and I start looking at the crude oil and the natural gas and the gasoline. Then I start saying, well, damn, they got a lot of gold and silver and platinum there and palladium, and that's how I see it. Now, what do we say on this podcast? Our perspective is the 3 F's. It always will, always has been, we ain't gonna never change. Family, farming, financing. Right? Family, farming, financing. Right? All right. He's married. Okay? And he's taking the black seed. This is ideology. And the brown seed, he's making them a family. Now, either he's a genius, or he's lucky, or both, or he's a master strategist. Because again, we're taught to be mathematical in our thinking. If he can unite that black and brown seed with all this stuff underneath our feet, because he's in Latin America, and they got chapters down there. He just ain't running his mouth. He got the brothers, the brown seed is buying into this. You see Mexicans in that purple. You see Colombians in that purple. You see all through the West Indians, they got the purple. This is for real now. This ain't nothing. He got this working now. And to be all the way, just keep it all the way transparent. See, Pochop made it easy for him. Because the people that live on these lands, see, they already got a Bible. They already was Christianized. He just going to tweak it and show it, well, you're the real people of the book. And then he's going to tribe them up. And then once he tribe them up, he's going to make them a family. So what do we say here, beloved? Well, family and farming equal financing. That's the power. That's the power. If the cracker take his currency away, and he do brick or slick or whatever new currency thing, it doesn't matter, because if you know how to farm, you're going to always eat no matter what he do with the money. He can take a hero and turn it into a euro. He can do whatever he want. He can take all the Deutschmarks away and put it, we don't care with it. If you got the farm, it don't matter. You're going to always eat what currency he come up with in the back room. That's why he's potentially Pastor or Bishop Nathanyel. He make that pivot, he's dangerous. I know it. People with good sense know it, but the CIA know it, and the FBI, they know it too. Now, Bishop Nathanyel has got to turn that page to make it work, because our assessment of this brother is this. See, you can only play Jesus is black for so long. You can only play the Israelites was really black and brown for so long. Men need a mission. Men need a paycheck. So that family got to turn into that farming, and that farming got to turn into financing, because that religious hype is only going to work for so long. See, if a man just sitting around all day, he ain't going to have no time but to do nothing but read and read and read, and then all this reading gonna bring more questions, more questions, more questions. And then there's so many kind of like I don't want to throw nobody's religion under the bus, but boy, it's a lot to work with when you start dealing with them Jews in that book. And it's a lot of little, you're like, you gotta kind of You got to stretch your imagination to make it work. So he got to turn that page. Like, I give an example. Let's take a look at the 10 areas of activity, right? And let's just take what the ideology that Elijah brought to the village. How about we just do that? And now the brother minister, he got the mantle now. The foundation of what Elijah brought to the village was that really the first two lessons, and I can kind of sum them up by saying, black man is God, white man is devil. That's pretty much the foundation of everything the Nation of Islam got going from the 1930s to the present. Black man is God, white man is devil. God meaning power and force. We say righteous power and force. And the devil is an adversary. He's a trickster, right? He operates off technology, which is tricks, lies, and deceit. So when you see the 10 areas of activity that the devil is over, we go back over one more time: economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, and war, and we add on medicine. He operates all of those in tricks, lies, and deceit. His economics is tricks, lies, and deceit. His education is tricks, lies, and deceit. His entertainment is tricks, lies, and deceit. His labor, boom, 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 boom. We go down the line. Okay, so if Mr. Muhammad brought us what he did bring us, which is black man is God, white man is devil, that changes our attitude when we go into his economics, because we already know when he's a devil. Don't bring me 2 contracts, bring me 3 contracts. I got to keep looking over and over and over these contracts, no matter how many you bring me, because you're the devil. When you bring me education, I'm going to keep looking over these textbooks, because we know you're the devil. When you bring us entertainment and you want us to put on a dress and booty shorts, but we're males, we kind of know you're going to do this because we know from the very beginning where you're the devil. When you bring us labor and you bring us law and you introduce us into your politics and your religion, well, we already know because you're the devil. We've been given this game, beloved. We already know, like, oh, you're the devil, so we have to keep our eye out open for you. That ideology helps us in our plight as we live underneath his jurisdiction. You see what I'm saying? That's how the ideology works. So if our brothers and sisters in Bama going through the Tuskegee experiment, if they knew this, when they seen the devil pull up, they should know his guy got a medicine hustle, and it's not going because he's the devil. When Margaret Sanger pulled up and she said she got something for us, we would have said, no, it's not going to work because we know you're the devil. That ideology works for us. Now, we see a new leadership coming in. Bishop Nathanyel is making a way, right? All right. What is the cornerstone argument that he's going to put in place, or cornerstone teaching, I should say, that's going to help assist in combating this devil supremacy? Because you telling folks Jesus is black ain't gonna do nothing to the economics. That ain't gonna do nothing. Jesus is black ain't gonna do nothing with education, because they already got it. The education in this country is already separate from religions. They ain't gonna do nothing. You run around saying Jesus is black ain't gonna do nothing in entertainment. So what? How does that go? So what else teaching that you have that's gonna be the cornerstone of it, that's gonna move through these sectors to protect the people that's a part of your new religious persuasion? Because we looking at the landscape, brother, you got the whole thing set up for you. If you drop this ball, we don't know if somebody can come after you and take it a step further, because the thing about biblical teachers is, see, they don't really have a full grasp of leadership. They do talkership and they kind of like charismatic, but they don't have anybody to pass the mantle down to. Because it's funny how biblical teachers do that. Like, I give you an example. We like T.D. Jakes. Is T.D. Jakes going to live to be 130 years old? No. So when something happens to him, who did he groom up? Who did we see that T.D. Jakes, or who else we like? Creflo Dollar, or some of us that's more militant, we like Geno Jennings. All right, we take these 3 guys. Who are they grooming? Who have they groomed? Who did they raise from the dead? Let me say it that way. That you can put on a platform that we listen to and respect. Besides them, nobody. Because it's something about these pork chops. They're not trained to groom up the next person up. So how did that going to work when the leader fall? It don't work no more. That's why Elijah was so impactful. He gave you Malcolm. He found a pimp in prison, cleaned him up. He put Malcolm on a world stage, that he was able to speak at these colleges, these universities, because he had the knowledge of self. He was just given the game that his teacher gave him, right? Elijah made Louis Farrakhan. Elijah made Clarence 13X, more affectionately called Father Allah. Elijah made Muhammad Ali. He was just an athlete. He was just a boxer. He got the knowledge of self. He was able to be. You look at Muhammad Ali interviews, you'll forget he was a boxer, because he was given a knowledge that was able to put him on the world stage that he can. So when Elijah passed away, you can see that first group of men, and then you can go down and see the Khalid Abdul Muhammad's, right? You can go to the Malik Shabazz. Then look at the younger group. You can go to the Wesley Muhammad's and the Nurah Muhammad's and the Brother Ben X's and the what's the brother name from California? Rizza Islam. It keeps going all the way down. It's a trickle effect because that's leadership. Now, when you get to the biblical world, the po-chops haven't figured out how to do that. They know how to put themselves on the world stage and talk and do all that, but when it comes to translating it down to who's coming up next, they don't know how to do that. They just it's kind of weird how that works, right? We don't know who coming behind Genogenics. We don't know nobody that he raised from the dead, he found in prison, he gave him the game, and now he's doing interviews all over the place and we respect him. It just doesn't happen. We don't know who TD Jakes, he's at the Diddy parties. We don't know what he got going on. We don't know what Jamal Bryant got going on, who is understudied, because they never build up the next group, the poor. It just don't happen, right? So the verdict is still out on our brother. You know, we're watching Bishop Nathanyel, but the landscape is set up. Whether we like it or not, whether we approve this message or not, it's clear that besides Julius Malema, he's going to be the most powerful black man in the country. What he's going to do with that power, we're going to see, because the people don't want no more preacher hype. That which is unseen have to turn into that which is seen. It got to turn material. That's what make you a man of God. That's what make you a God. God took the invisible and made it visible. The thing about our people is they want to keep us in the religious world, and it never turned material. It's everything is spiritual. The food is spiritual. Everything is spiritual but the money. You know, it's time to get the money. That got to be material. But all this, you know, you going to get this down the line and all this old kind of stuff. And some of y'all going to get it in the sky and all this. Everything is spiritual over there. So Muhammad had to come and change the page on that. That's how he got the farm in Michigan, in Georgia. So when the Fruit of Islam used to sell fruit, man, I'm from the generation, beloved, where the Nation of Islam used to sell fruit on the corner with the bean pies. And their claim to fame was, we got this from our farm. And then you seen the factories. Then you seen the barbershops. Then you seen the restaurants. You see what I'm saying? Then you seen the pressing plants. They made their own paper. He was able to take, you see what I'm saying? He put his followers on the payroll. Bishop Nathanyel has the ability to unite everybody internationally, but he got to turn that page, and he got to turn into money. Because, beloved, in my estimate, people are only going to go for preacher hype. We seen Genogenics preach in America and in the islands and in Africa, and they can put churches all over the place, and then that's it. Okay, it's enough churches everywhere. Where is the materialism? Where's the infrastructure? Where is it? That's where we at now. So I say the verdict is out on that. But in our estimate, ultimately, hands down, the brother's gonna be the most powerful black man in the country, if not the world. So we just gotta sit back and wait this thing out and see what he gonna do with this power. You know what I'm saying? With all this that's too much power for one man to have. We're gonna see. That's some off a Spike Lee film. I'm just joking. But yeah. We're gonna just sit back and see, beloved, what he do with all this power, and we'll leave it there. All right, how about that? Peace of black power to your family. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This is indeed Real Black Content Form Podcast, man. It's your brother V, man. I'll get it with you guys later. Peace and more peace.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
So why does it say an astonishment? The Israelites will become an astonishment. It's an astonishment. We were the top nation on the planet Earth. When we came out of Egypt, there was no nation that could defeat us. When we ruled under King David and King Solomon, all nations paid us taxes. All nations paid us tribute. Now look at us. That's why in Psalms it says, I have said ye are gods, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Christ had to quote that thing. Read it again, Yuri.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
So it's an astonishment that we were at one time gods. Now we're nothing but regular men, and we've died like the princes of the earth. Go ahead.
A proverb and a byword.
Thanks for listening. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Google, Anchor, Spotify, and Facebook. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment on the podcast. Your opinion of what you just heard is important to the platform. So yes, beloved, your comments are the engine and fuel to the machine. Stay blessed and have a powerful day.